The camera's running.
Thank you.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a cough that just won't go away.
All right. Well, when we finished last time, you had rescued Martin from Restful Acres and brought him here to your house, where he recovered almost immediately. Take it from there.
Well, I can't explain it, actually. He didn't eat or drink much at all. And yet, he gets stronger by the hour. Within days, we became the best of friends, and I started to ask him about his life. He seemed to shift the conversation to some current event. I mean, I would ask him about his past, and then he would start talking about, like airport screeners being caught with child porn, or checkpoints on highways where you had to, show your papers, or politicians granting trillions of dollars to international bankers and leaving people with the bill. I mean, he seemed to know a lot about pretty much everything. He made me feel very uninformed. But when he started to talk about the history of the world, that's when I really started to, gawk in amazement. He knew just about every war, about every major event, every nuance of mankind's development, as if he had watched it as it happened. And it was at this point that he started to connect the dots for me. He said, Charles, I know you think that things progressed throughout history because some man or some people acted in some way, and then some other people reacted to that, and so history happens. But that's not the case. We are given the storyline and we play our parts. We view the world as if our votes count and as if the newsreader on TV is telling us the news. But if our votes really made a difference, I assure you they'd be illegal. And if the TV told the truth, there would be revolution followed by enlightenment and true evolution. But Martin went on to tell me that the Gulf of Tonkin was staged. 58,000 U.S. soldiers died, and hundreds of thousands were wounded and emotionally scarred and wrecked. Millions of Vietnamese, Laotians, and Cambodians were killed and sprayed with cancer-causing chemicals. Weapons manufacturers made billions over many years, and the war dominated the landscape, prevented all of the positive things that could have been from ever happening. And the entire thing was planned and started using false flag provocation. The North Vietnamese never attacked the U.S. The U.S. claimed they had, and then invaded Vietnam and caused destruction and death. I later found out governments have used false flag attacks throughout history in order to draw their own people into supporting wars. I remember Martin said, "Now, Charles, why would people go along with such a scheme?" The American people didn't even know where Vietnam was on the map. They went along because they believed the politicians who said we were attacked. They believed the newsreaders and the journalists who reported the attack and never verified it. They believed because the TV said we were at war with the communists. They believed because their fathers believed and their communities believed. But it wasn't just because the bankers who always fund both sides wanted to make more money. It was to take over the drug flow. It was to destabilize the developing people and eliminate a lot of them. And it was to further consolidate power over the world. And it was to demonize America. I remember Martin said, "Charles, the bankers who own the American political system do not care about America. They care about dominating the world. The American military is just the enforcer who kicks the little nerd's ass and steals his lunch money. He still reports back to the man behind the guarded gate." And then he told me about JFK's murder at the hands of these invisible men. He told me about Pearl Harbor being allowed to happen. He told me about World War I being brought about to horrify the world and unify parts of Europe, while at the same time drawing America into the consolidation. He told me the Civil War was bankrolled by the same families, and that the foreknowledge of the result of the Battle of Waterloo enabled the Rothschilds to buy England for pennies on the dollar and establish their family as the financial owner of the empire. He went further back and told me of the ascension of the royal families and their relationships to secret societies, and the secret knowledge that enabled certain bloodlines to always maintain control over the masses and dictate the course of human human events. Sorry. My mind was awash in newfound knowledge. On the one hand, I was angry and devastated that I had lived so much of my life in complete ignorance, and that I was nothing more than a pawn. But on the other hand, my mind was now alive and alert. I'm sorry.
That's alright, that's alright. Just take it from there.
I wanted to know everything, and I wanted to tell everyone else. I mean, who wouldn't? I wanted to change the world. That's when two things happened at once. And it changed everything. Like a bolt of lightning hitting the house or a flooded river washing away everything, my world exploded on the same day I was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. And Martin Slavichka blew my mind.